So it's been an absolutely nuts past few days, and I almost had to flee Peru. Let me tell you how that happened. Basically, when you get into Peru, you get a visa, just like every other country. And you go through this little ticket booth, they take some information, and they just give you a certain amount of time that you're supposed to be in Peru, and a time that you're supposed to leave. But they don't tell you that you can be here before you have to leave, and it can range. It's not the same for every person, so sometimes they might give you 10 days, sometimes they might give you 30 days, and oftentimes they give you 90 days. But as far as what I knew when I came here, it was 90 days is what you got across the board. You got to come for 2 sets of 90 days, and then after that, you can't come back to Peru for another 180 days, then you can come back again. So I got here, I set up, I got everything ready to basically move here, and I've been working on... There's a dog running, my apologies. I got everything ready and started working on my residency here. Now, I don't know if it's going to go through. However, while you're in the process of applying for residency here, you can stay. So the whole visa situation doesn't matter. But there's a period of time between when you get here and when your visa is actually being filed. And in that time, you can't be here if you don't have a visa. So therein lies the problem. I was here thinking I had 90 days to get ready for this visa and really transition my migratory status into resident here. During that time and all the assumptions that I made, I found out that I was wrong. So my lawyer, who can check these things, I can't check how long I'm allowed to be here and what the range of my visa is, looked it up online and found out, thinking that I should have gotten 90 days, but I actually didn't. I didn't get that amount of time. And my lawyer started freaking out, and they were like, well, if you're not in good standing with the country of Peru, then you can't apply for residency at all. And then boom, my plans moving here goes up in smokes before it even starts. So I started looking at plane tickets, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And then I started looking at Chile. Chile is not too far. When I say not too far, it's a 20-hour bus ride. And I was also looking at plane tickets because 20 hours on a bus sounds awful. The plane tickets are about $400 round trip, $500 round trip. Sometimes, some of them, depending on the day, $600 round trip. And I had to be out of the country by March 18th. So I don't know when you're watching this video, but either it's a couple days before March 18th or it's after March 18th. So my lawyer was freaking out, trying to get me to leave the country. 20 hours on the bus ride, I would have done it. Don't get me wrong, like, if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. However, I had some decisions to make. Am I gonna leave the country, or am I gonna jeopardize my migratory status here? So I started planning, I started working on booking a flight, I started, looking at buses, maybe renting a car, looking at Airbnbs, because I have to at least stay there for a couple days. And it all just started getting too much. So I picked up the phone and I called my lawyer. I was like, look, it's going to cost me around $1,000 to get out of this country through flight, and the buses, they're not an option. I lied. They were an option, I just didn't want to take that option. So I was like, is there anything you can do for me that's cheaper than the $600 option that I have in front of me, because I have clients and stuff, which is true. I have clients, and taking the bus would make it very difficult for those clients, and I don't really want to move them around. So I had to think, what exactly am I going to do and how am I going to address that? So the lawyer got looking and she was like, well, what you can do is you can overstay your visa. And I was like, wait, I thought that was going to put my migratory status in jeopardy. And she's like, well, it will. However, really the big issue is if you're not in good standing with the Peruvian government, you can't sign any papers, and you need to be able to sign papers in order to become a citizen here, because that's how you get your papers. And you can only sign them when you have an active visa. And I was like, okay, so I just need to have an active visa and I can do all this stuff? And she's like, well, yes, but there's an issue. You're overstaying your visa. And I was like, okay, so they're going to give me issues leaving and not let me come back in. And she's like, well, that's not exactly true. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have to pay $1 a day that I'm here extra, just waiting for the plane ticket that I did buy. And I guess I'm kind of foreshadowing to a video in Chile, to pay for a plane ticket in a video, or to pay for a plane ticket for a future date, but I'm gonna have to pay $1 a day for every day that I'm here. But the issue is when I come back, they're gonna give me issues. They're gonna say, you overstayed last time, how are we going to be sure that you aren't going to overstay again? They might give me a lesser amount of time, which is difficult because I need that amount of time to stay here. So anyway, I'm not exactly sure how this end is going to come, but she said that I need to, next time I leave, I have to pay the debt at the international migration counter, the customs counter, I guess. And the next time I come in, I'm supposed to put them on the phone with her. But she said it should be fine. People have overstayed by 7 or 8 years, left and come back, so I should be okay. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Otherwise, if you want to see some of the random shenanigans I get myself into, you could check right above this cactus. There's going to be a video that YouTube thinks is perfect for you. And right on this cactus is going to be my subscribe button. And if you click that, it'll drop all the plane tickets going to Chile for me by $1. So I would appreciate it if we could get it like sub 200 round trip. That would be amazing. So that's like, let's say 100 of you guys. It's high hopes though. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon.